We've all experienced this, walking up those stairs in Legends Arceus, only to hear the spine-tingling piano keys playing as Volo goes from friend to foe in front of our eyes, striking fear into our very souls. And well, I wanted every single trainer in Paldea to get that exact same feeling, so let's play through the game as Volo. This means that I can only use Pokemon in Volo's team in the form that he used them in. And to make things a bit more interesting, I'm adding a bunch of rules to the run. So with a favour from our boy Arceus, we get sent to Paldea as a student, ready to wreak havoc on the newest and most broken region in the Pokemon franchise. The Academy Director Clavel can sense my power, already calling me Master Volo. Okay, show me the starter Pokemon. Yeah, none of these Pokemon will do. Get me a Gibble, please. But Master Volo, these are wonderful. You're gonna make me repeat myself? That's better. We go down to the beach and our first victim, Nemona, is waiting. Cue the piano music. Okay then. So, Giratina, you gonna come out now or? You know what, cut me some slack. In Hisui, we have a different battle system, okay? After a horrible start to the life in Paldea, things are starting to finally look up as we get our hands on the legendary Pokemon. Okay, Koraidon, I have a cat that I need you to strike down. Wait, what do you mean you're just a bike? As we continue on, we meet a fella called Arvin, and this guy has a poor squirrel that Gibble really just wants to hurt. So we do just that. We get a rematch with Nemona right before the gates, and this time Gabite can take out the cat, but we are running low on health. Thankfully, the champions of Paldea seem to have no idea about type matchups as their poor me uses a Thunder Shock on my ground type. Wow. They give champion ranks to anyone these days, huh? Yeah, thanks, but no thanks, Director. I didn't come to Paldea to go to school. I'm out of here, you nerds. As Gibble has been feeling lonely, I decided to add another team member to keep him company. Oh, would you look at that? It's a Hisui and Growlithe. Well, isn't that just convenient, as Volo had a Hisui and Growlithe. Volo. Oh, hey Arceus, what's up? Take a look at this. Well, that's awkward. Please sub. Right, first up we have Katie and her bugs. Hey Michael, can't you just go to Delibird Presence and evolve it with the Fire Stone? I could. I just feel like I don't want to be too overpowered too early, you know what I mean? Alright, Nimble. Do we just outspeed and destroy this little bug, right? I'm pretty sure if I just click Flame Wheel, we just burn this little bug, right? It doesn't survive this. Yeah, it doesn't. Stab with a charcoal, no chance. Now it's going to be the Tarantula, which is just as pathetic. Alright, you see with this bug, what we need to do is we actually have to press A again. And let's see what happens. Oh, it dies. It dies. This should be illegal. She knows she doesn't stand a chance, yet she still comes here, allowing me to just burn her little bugs to a crisp. This is her fault. If there were police in Pokemon, she'd be arrested for sure. I actually feel bad. Like, I genuinely feel bad about this right now, just destroying her. Thank you, Katie, for the cupcakes, by the way, and the photo. That's the first badge in the bag. And next up we have the Stony Cliff Titan Cloth to take care of. Back in my day, these oversized Pokemon were called Alpha Pokemon, not Titan Pokemon. Also, this happened. A trainer, holy what are you doing? I'll put it in the video. Thank you very much, A Trainer, for the donation. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it a lot. Okay, just quickly guys, I don't want people thinking that if they donate money, that I'll add those parts into the video. This is a one-off that I did as I promised the viewer live on stream, so I didn't want to go back on that promise. So against the giant crab, I lead with Growlithe, who can intimidate it, lowering its attack, before Gibble can come in using terrestrialized sandstorms until the crab gives up and flees the scene. But he ain't getting away that easily. We follow the crab and finish it off with the help of Arvin and his shoulder. Arvin then gives us a badge for helping him out, and now we're done here. Artisan City is our next stop, as Brassius and his grass types need to be cooked up. I actually go on a side quest, getting a Firestone for Growlithe. However, I decided to hold on to it for now, and only use it if we end up losing a battle. Back to Artisan we go, and we waste no time taking on Brassius. Now Growlithe uses Flame Wheel, which is more than enough to clear out Brassius' first two Pokemon, Pettilil, and Smoliv. However, once his ace Sudowoodo comes in, we trade blows until our little dog goes down. Gibble can come in, cleaning up the mess with a couple of Fire Fangs against his fake tree, and we get another badge for the collection. Although the Growlithe and Gibble combo has been dominant for the run so far, I think it's about time we add another team member. So we do some backtracking and we can find ourselves a Riolu who is begging to be caught. Although for now, this little guy is going to have to chill on his Pokeball. Back at the academy, there's a Delibird shop that sells a Soothe Bell, so our newly acquired dog will be holding this until he evolves. With a team of 3, it's now time to slay another alpha Pokemon. Yes, that's what Volo calls them, so that's what we're going to go with. Yeah, this is the thing, Gemma. I can evolve Growlithe right now. This is going to sound dumb. Although I'm going to try and beat it on my first turn like I did with Glorf and Brassius, I don't mind having a few wipes because I think it's better for the video to have a couple of wipes. But I won't wipe purposely, like I won't throw to wipe for content. I'll just, Wow, talk about exposing yourself. Growlithe and Riolu can tag team to take out the first phase of this bird. Although Growlithe does faint and cannot be revived for the second phase. I don't know if we're going to win this round. We go to the next phase, not looking too good. If I could heal up, I'd be 100% confident. Oh, you know what? We actually might get out of this because Nacli might just take the damage for us. And Smackdown does decent damage. Look at that. Oh, Sharknado, hold on. Please, Nacli, do something. Smackdown, we win. Honestly, that's actually so nuts. He gets his herbs and we get our badge. Finally, Volo can get his hands on Team Star and Giacomo will be the first to suffer. The name's Clive. Yeah, not interested, you creep. We stomp on his pathetic grunt and force the boss out of hiding. Gibble can trade blows with a Pornard, coming out on top. Now it's a Starmobile and Bulldoze. How much does it do? So yeah, this stupid car can take out both our Growlithe and Riolu, giving us our second wipe of the run. But what Giacomo doesn't know is that I have a secret weapon in the bag. I pull out the Firestone and use it on the Growlithe, evolving him into a powerhouse Arcanine. Alright, cue the music. This time Gibble does lose the one-on-one battle with Pornard, as even with the speed drop from Bulldoze, we're outsped and taking out from an attack boosted Metal Claw. Riolu then tags in, getting revenge for Gibble as it rock smashes the Pornard into pieces. Now it's a Starmobile, so I bring in the big guns, Arcanine. Our newly evolved dog is just too strong for Giacomo's car as we batter it down with Flame Wheels before delivering the final blow with an extreme speed, sending this back to the scrapyard. We get our revenge on Giacomo and he hands over the badge. Nemona is our next target and the score is currently 1-1, so we have no intentions of going easy on her. Gibble leads and crushes her Rockruff with a single Bulldoze. Nemona then brings in Pawmo, who leaves just as quickly as another Bulldoze from Gibble takes it out. Florigato hits Gibble hard with a Magical Leaf, but we hit it back with a Fire Fang, doing decent damage to a cat. Not wanting Gibble to fall to this dumb cat, I switch in Arcanine and we take it out with a Flamethrower. Iono is the electric gym leader, so I decide to head to Asado Desert and take out some trainers in the desert. Why, you ask? Because after beating 5 of these trainers here, you can talk to this gentleman right here and he'll give you Earthquake. Yes, 100 base power move with 100 accuracy that is also stab for Gibble. Or should I say Gabite? Yep, this little fella also evolves right at the level cap of 24. Back to Lavencia City we go to take on this online influencer. Wattrel thinks it's safe as we can't hit it with an Earthquake, but we just drop a pile of rocks on this little bird instead. Luxio drops her attack with Intimidate, but a stab Earthquake is just still too much for it. Bellybolt is a beefy boy, and thanks to the Intimidate from earlier, it does take a couple of Earthquakes to finish it off. Iona gets serious, bringing out her Miss Magius, who can Terrestrialize and will have no weaknesses. But I have Arcanine, who likes to burn things with flamethrowers, so that's what I do to this ghost. Iona admits defeat, and we can grab our badge off her. Gabite isn't quite satisfied yet, so to help quench his thirst of destruction, we head straight to Mela from Team Star. Her Torkoal was sent to the afterlife after some back-to-back Earthquakes from Gabite. The Starmobile comes out to get revenge, but Gabite deals massive damage with Earthquakes before Arcanine can tag in and deliver the final blow with a Rock Slide. Mela ain't happy, but rules are rules, so she hands over the badge. We continue the roll that we're on, and this time it's the Lurking Steel Titan Earthworm that's in our way. This oversized fishing bait is melted into a puddle as Arcanine flamethrowers it in both phases, getting our easiest win yet. Arvin continues to collect his sandwich ingredients, and he gives us a badge. Wanting to take out some more gym leaders, Kaskarafa is our next destination, as that's where I can find Kofu. Although upon arrival, Kofu runs out of town so he can buy some seaweed. Right, so we go to the markets, beat up his assistant, and then we buy seaweed for $35,000. Yes, also this happened. Lucario leads against his fish, and we go for a workup, raising our attack, while Veluza hits us with a pluck, doing small damage. We go for another workup, but this time his stupid fish uses Aqua Cutter, doing massive damage to Lucario. We go for a +2, super effective Trial Blaze on Veluza, and somehow it doesn't take it out, meaning Lucario falls without taking out a single Pokemon. Gabite comes in, getting revenge for Lucario with a Thunder Fang, and then deals with the Wugtrio when it comes in. Now it's the Ace Crabominable, and an Earthquake from Gabite does do decent damage, but a Terrestrialized Crabhammer is just too much for our teenage dragon. We then dodge the incoming Crabhammer, which is huge, as this allows our dog to take a second chomp at the crab, taking it out and getting a win. Even after that, Kofu is still laughing while giving us his gym badge. So after that fight, I wanted to make the run a little more challenging, so I decided to ban Terrestrialization from this point forward. Atticus from Team Star uses poison types, and well, our team is just built for this fight. Gabite takes out the Skuntank with a single Earthquake. Revavroom and Muck also follow suit, going down to a single hit. The big card does eat the hits better, but after a couple of Earthquakes, Arcanine can tag in to finish the job, getting us the win. The ninja hands over the badge, and we have Team Star on the ropes. Larry is next, and I want to give Lucario a chance to regain his honor after his pathetic attempt against Kofu. We order the secret dish, and Larry comes out to face us. Lucario can get off 2 Calm Minds before waking up from the Koala's yawn with a Chesto Berry. Both his Komala and his Dunsparce are eliminated with a single Aura Sphere, regaining Lucario's pride after the Kofu fight. Saraptor does come in next, but I switch in Arcanine to teach his bird a lesson with a couple of Rock Slides. We grab the badge from Larry and finally get a bite to eat. Nemona then ambushes us, desperate for a win, especially in front of her idol Geeta. Lucario can set up 2 Calm Minds on the Lycanroc while eating a couple of bites in the process. Then Lucario goes berserk and starts Aura Sphering everything in sight. Lycanroc, dead. Pormo, dead. Goomy, dead. Meowscarter does outspeed and lands a huge critical hit Flower Trick on Lucario, but we respond with an Aura Sphere and we are Oh, that's not good. Also, fun fact, apparently you don't need to do this battle again if you lose it, meaning we won't be able to get our revenge on Nemona just yet. Now's probably a good time to add some more firepower to the team, so we head to the Snowy Ruins where we can find a Spiritomb. Oh, it's level 49, huh? Right, change of plans. At the strike of midnight, I head back to Cocoa Path as I hear rumors of a monster residing there. Oh, it's a Giratina. Well, technically Volo had one of those, so welcome to the team. So with a literal giant dragon ghost on our side, we head to Monte Nevera as I hear there's someone there who likes to play with ghosts. Rom, the rapper slash gym leader, I guess, is next to take on. She leads with Mimikyu and Banette, while Arcanine and Giratina take charge for me. Mimikyu Shadow Sneaks Giratina, which tickles, and Banette lands a critical hit Sucker Punch on Arcanine. The plan was to have Arcanine Rock Slide on both Pokemon, damaging Banette and breaking Mimikyu's disguise, but we miss both her Pokemon, so Giratina's Shadow Claw can only break the disguise. Mimikyu and Banette both double team on Giratina, but we eat the hits well, before crunching and Shadow Clawing both Rhyme's Pokemon down to critical health. The crowd then also boosts our attack for using super effective moves, and this is where things really start to go bad for Rhyme. Another crunch from Arcanine takes out a Banette, and a Giratina Shadow Claw eliminates a Mimikyu. The crowd shows some more love, raising our stats again for literally killing Rhyme's Pokemon. This means a big crunch from our Arcanine finishes off the Terrestrialized Toxtricity, and Giratina can send the Houndoom back to the afterlife with a Shadow Claw. Yeah, I think you should stick to rapping Rhyme. The Quaking Earth Titan is being a menace, so with the help of Arvin Skelvilian, we can take out the ancient Pokemon, giving us a badge, but also allowing us to fly. Well, glide, I guess. Now, normally I'd be getting bored with fighting Nemona again so soon, but with the loss firmly on my mind, this battle couldn't come soon enough. The strategy is similar to the last fight, as Lucario sets up twice on a Lycanroc, however this time it's Swords Dance, raising our attack by 4 stages. But not forgetting a stupid fast cat in the back, I finish off the Lycanroc with a Trial Blaze, boosting my speed. From here we faint every single one of her pathetic Pokemon in a single hit, getting our sweet revenge on Nemona. Tulip is next, But before that, I wanted to improve Giratina's social skills, so we take him out of his comfort zone. Let's just say he wasn't happy. We enter the arena with Tulip and we can begin the battle. She brings in Farigiraf, but Arcanine takes a couple of chomps on this Pokemon, taking it out. Gardevoir does bring me low with back-to-back Psychics, but we hold on and crunch the Fairy until it faints. Now it's Esparta, and this Emu can outspeed and kill our Rocky Dog. Giratina has seen enough, so he comes in and finishes off the bird with a big Shadow Claw. Last is a Terrestrialized Florges, but Giratina can deal with his Crystallized Flower with back-to-back Shadow Claws. That's another badge in the bag, and we've only got one gym left. Okay, so at this point, I decided that Giratina can only come out if every other Pokemon has already died. I mean, that's how Volo technically used him in Legends Arceus, so it only makes sense that I do the same. Grusha is our next target, and after sliding down a mountain with our white Koraidon, we've done enough to earn a gym challenge. Today's not a great day to face me. You know, you're better off giving up. Yeah, that's not happening. You see, I have a Lucario who has Swords Dance and Drain Punch. Lucario sets up with Swords Dance, and then from here, completely picks apart Grusha's team one at a time with Drain Punches. Grusha hands over the final gym badge, and now the Elite Four awaits us. Well, not quite. Not far from the gym, we can head down to the ruins where Spiritomb was waiting, and because of the new level cap, he can now be added. Also with the new level cap, Gabite can finally evolve into a powerhouse Garchomp, giving us the final team member for the run. Ortega and his fairy Pokemon need to be dealt with, so we rush the base and go face to face with this smug kid. Once again, it's Lucario taking the lead and setting up with Sword Stances on his Azumarill. Azumarill does try to drop my attack, but thanks to my Clear Amulet, it fails. This means I can go for one more Sword Stance on the Azumarill before being able to go all out. Poison Jab after Poison Jab, Azumarill, Wigglytuff and Dash Bun all fall to a single strike. Now the Starmobile does outspeed and a Magical Talk should have killed us, but Lucario hang on because of how much it loved me, allowing us to do massive damage with a Poison Jab. But because this isn't a Nuzlocke, I let him die so I can bring in Arcanine for free, intimidating the car and then busting it up with a few Rock Slides. We take Ortega's badge from him and we leave the base. Also, to celebrate the win, I have a nice picnic with my Pokemon before the False Dragon battle. We approach Dondozo, and Spiritomb holding leftovers can eliminate this giant fish by nasty plotting and shadow balling it. The next phase is exactly the same, although it's actually a bit easier as Greedent is also helping. And finally, the Tatsugiri fight is also identical, meaning we've taken out all Titan Pokemon in the game while also helping Arven. Also, Mabosif is fully recovered, which is an added bonus. As much as I'd like to start taking out the Elite Four members, we still have one last Team Star member to take out, Eerie. Spiritomb with leftovers can set up 3 nasty plots on a stupid frog as it keeps going for sucker punches. Then we use a quad effective Psychic on the Toad, taking it out. Lucario hits us with a Dragon Pulse, but we eat it like a champ and we Shadow Ball the dog. Passy-Man tries his best, going for a Seed Bomb, but Spiritomb retaliates with a Psychic, ending its life. Annihilate goes for an Ice Punch for some reason, allowing us to Psychic this angry boy straight back to Eerie. Spiritomb finally does fall to a Starmobile, but he did more than enough to earn my respect in this fight. Garchomp comes in as backup, but this thing has stamina, raising its defense every time I hit it, while also going for shift gears. Eventually, Garchomp, Arcanine, and even Lucario have fallen to this monster. And just as I thought I was staring into yet another defeat, I summoned my own monster. Giratina comes in and eats our spin out damage like it's nothing, before a couple of Dragon Breaths puts the car into the scrapyard. That's our final badge of the game collected, and now we can take on the Pokemon League. Rika is first on the chopping block, and this battle was a little bit messier than it should have been. Lucario goes for a Sword Stance, doubling our attack, and this catfish looking Pokemon should have killed me if not for how much Lucario loved me. Because we survived, a quad effective Trial Blaze does take it out and boosts our speed. Camerupt comes in, but a Drain Punch KOs the camel and recovers almost all my health back. Now it's Donphan, and because this thing has Sturdy, I know I can't one-shot it. So I switch in Spiritomb, who can take a couple of hits while breaking the Sturdy with a Shadow Ball on the Donphan. Garchomp then comes in and takes an Earthquake on the switch, but then buries the Donphan with his own Earthquake. Dugtrio sets up the Sandstorm, which actually helps me as I have Sandville as my ability. I then thank it by Earthquaking it straight back to Rika. Finally, it's Clodsire, and 2 Earthquakes from our boy Garchomp is all it takes to finish off the Pokemon as well as the trainer Rika. Wait, who's this? I didn't come here to babysit. Oh, that's an Elite Four member, huh? Lucario takes a lead here, and we go for a Swords Dance, raising our attack while just surviving a high horsepower from Copperaja. A Drain Punch crushes the elephant while also healing our dog. Bronzong is next in, and 2 more Drain Punches is enough to take it out, while staying relatively healthy. Corviknight is now taken to low HP with back-to-back drain punches. However, an Iron Defense boosted body press puts an end to Lucario's dominance. Arcanine does come in to clean up the mess by flamethrowing the rest of her team, giving us a second win in the Elite Four, although it was against a toddler. Larry is up next, and I'm always happy to see him. Lucario wants to prove himself one more time, so he takes a lead and sets up with Sword Stances, while Tropius goes for a sunny day. Tropius is faster because of Chlorophyll and lands an Air Slash, but we double down and go for one more Sword Stance. We take one more Air Slash from the Flying Plant, and then we eliminate it with a Poison Jab. Staraptor tries to intimidate me, but Inner Focus stops that from happening. Lucario then ends the Staraptor's life with a Drain Punch, while also getting health back. Altaria comes in, but one Poison Jab from Lucario sends it packing. Oricorio is next, but just like the Altaria before it, it's Poison Jab to its death. Finally, it's the Flamingo, but this bird stood no chance as Lucario can finish it off with a Poison Jab. Larry is beaten, and we have one more member to go. Hassel is a Dragon Master, so I decided to fight fire with fire as we send out our own Garchomp. Noivern hits us hard with a Dragon Pulse, but instantly regrets it as a Dragon Claw eliminates him. This trend continues as Flapple, Dragalge, and even Haxorus are outsped and beaten with a single Dragon Claw from Garchomp. Baxcalibur is a different story, as this just survives a Dragon Claw from Garchomp and then uses an Icicle Crash to take us out. Lucario then comes in to finish off the fight, giving us a win over Hassel and the right to battle the champion Geeta. We head outside with the champions waiting, and we begin the battle. Garchomp leads against her Emu, and this bird just survives a super effective crunch and hits back with a dazzling gleam, doing decent damage to us. However, we follow up with one more crunch and we take it out. Veluza is next, and once again we are just short from the KO with a crunch. The fish retaliates with a huge Ice Fang, leaving me in the red. One more chomp on the fish does take it out, but Garchomp is in critical condition. Now it's Avalugg, so I let Garchomp land a big Earthquake, doing good damage before an Avalanche takes us out. Arcanine gets revenge by flamethrowing this slab of ice into a puddle of water. Kingambit has also flamethrown it in the face, but this thing somehow survives and a massive Stone Edge leaves us in the red. Thankfully, we can follow up with one more flamethrower and we get the kill. Gigoat also survives a flamethrower, but it throws the fight as it goes for a bulk up, so it gets burnt to a crisp in the next turn. Her Ace Glamora terrestrializes and an Earth Power should have finished me off, but Arcanine holds on because of love. Spiritomb tags in and can eat the hits before sending her Glamora straight back to Area 0 with a couple of Shadow Balls. We have finally beaten the champion Geeta, and we're officially a champion ourselves. Normally this is the end, but my intentions are to continue all the way through until we beat Professor Sada. This means we head back to the lighthouse where Arven is waiting for us. This was a breeze as Garchomp sets up two Sword Stances on his Squirrel and then proceeds to sweep through his team with Dragon Claws and Earthquakes. I did feel a little guilty killing Zmabostiff, but he's the one that started the fight. Director Clavel is next, and he did try to save himself by calling me Master, but I didn't feel like showing mercy. Spiritomb gets hit with a foul play, but we stay strong and set up a nasty plot. The monkey then goes for Yawn, making me drowsy as I go for one more nasty plot. Now I actually forgot to give a Chester Berry as I had leftovers on, but thankfully we only stopped for one turn, allowing a single Dark Pulse to get the kill for us. I protect against our Abomasnow to get that extra leftover recovery, but I get outplayed as it goes for an Aurora Veil, boosting its defenses in the snow. A Water Hammer almost takes me out, doing giant damage, and because a Dark Pulse couldn't finish the job either, one more hit from this giant hammer puts an end to our ghost. Arcanine then joins the fight, and no amount of Aurora Veil was going to help this thing survive a flamethrower. The Teapot is next, but two crunches later and this thing is dealt with. Houndoom does do massive damage with a Dark Pulse, but we hold on and we crush the dog with a Rock Slide. Among Us does actually survive a flamethrower for us, and we get put to sleep with Spore. Lucario switches in and finishes off the Mushroom with a Poison Jab, but gets paralyzed with his effect Spore in the process. Finally, it's a Quaquaval, and one Brick Break from this duck is too much for Lucario to withstand. Thankfully, Garchomp can come in, and a couple of Earthquakes gets us the win. Team Star's true boss Penny is next up, and I was in no mood to mess around. I just have Lucario set up with Swords Dance twice on an Umbreon and go all out. Umbreon, Flareon, Vaporeon, and even Jolteon all Drain Punched and killed in a single hit. Then her Leafeon and her Terrestrialized Sylveon are dismantled by a Poison Jab each from Lucario. Well, that was a lot easier. Speaking of easy, we have one final match against Amona, and the head-to-head score is 3-2 my way. Garchomp sets up with Sword Stances on a Lycanroc, and, well, you can watch what happens next. But that's Nimona beaten for the last time, and I have her crying. Although we all know that I'm not done quite yet. We jump on my Koraidon with the gang, and he takes us down to Area 0 where we can find the professor. After navigating our way down and unlocking stations along the way, we get to the entrance of the lab. We enter the lab and follow the AI version of the professor down to the deepest part of Area 0 for the final showdown. And I know I said I would only use Giratina for emergency purposes, but I changed my mind. Giratina, strike her down. Giratina can set up 4 commands on her Slither Wing, raising our special attack and defense. We go for a Shadow Ball, and to my surprise, it doesn't actually take it out in a single hit. Although one more does get the job done, and we're looking pretty healthy thanks to leftovers. Screamtail comes in, but a Shadow Ball is too much for this Jigglypuff from Wish. You call that a Shadow Ball? Pathetic. Here's what a real Shadow Ball looks like. Then the Brute Bonnetta's Aura Speed into Oblivion as soon as it comes in. Giratina then uses Energy Ball straight to the face of the Sandy Shocks, taking it out. Finally it's the Roaring Moon, and a Night Slash could have been close to killing if it critted, but it didn't, which means we use an Aura Sphere one more time and we win the fight. Wait, you're telling me now that I've defeated every boss in the game, my Koraidon wants to finally fight? Unbelievable. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.